Shadow Hearts Covenant. That ending is a lot to digest. Like, you know, it's a lot to take in. But Yuri gets to be with Alice, so, you know, that's great. I have my problems with Shadow Hearts Covenant, and I've definitely been kind of crapping on it for some dungeons and like as we got further in, but I think it's a good game. I really enjoy it. It's no secret that I don't enjoy it as much as the original Shadow Hearts, though. The original Shadow Hearts is my favorite of the trilogy. It's the best one. I never played Kudelka, but Covenant does well as a sequel. I think everything I like about the story in Covenant is Yuri's continuation of his journey. Like seeing Yuri again and seeing him deal with the grief of losing Alice and the mistletoe's curse and trying to like... I like the line of Yuri being on borrowed time. That was a good line to put in there. Like Yuri just accepting his fate there. Also, the change from Yuri to Shadow Hearts 1 to this game is good because talking with Jean reminded me, like, yeah, Yuri was kind of like an in-the-moment guy in the first game, and in this game, he actually, like, you know, actually has to deal with shit, basically. Like, even though Shadow Hearts 1 had its moments, but, like, in Shadow Hearts 1, Yuri didn't really take life as seriously, but in this game, it's like, you know, he grows, so that's really good. I like Shadow Hearts Covenant. I definitely don't like it as much as the original. The one thing I can say Shadow Hearts Covenant has over OG is the combat system, though. Like, there's no denying that the combat system in this game is better than the original Shadow Hearts games. Each Shadow Hearts game gets better as it goes, so this game has better combat than the first one. From the New World evolves the combat from this one. So yeah, the combat is undoubtedly better. Like, it's just so much fun. The comboing, the crest system is pretty good, and just the combat system, just it's Shadow Hearts 1 but better, basically. So that part's better. Music's okay, you know, Shadow Hearts music never really grits me. They got some standouts like Ladder to Heaven in this one, but, you know, music's okay. Shadow Hearts music's never, like, super standout, like Wild Arms or Tales of or Final Fantasy, but it's solid enough. Yeah. Now, the story and the characters. Like I said, I was talking about this in the trials, but I don't think the story of this game is, like, that good as a standalone. I think the standalone story in Shadow Hearts Covenant is kind of just whatever. I don't really care for it all that much. I think they had some neat ideas. I think Kato and Nikolai are pretty good villains, especially Kato. I really did like Kato at the very end there. Like, the stuff they do with Kato in the second half is pretty good, and Nikolai's a pretty good villain for the purpose he serves. I think the story's fine. I don't think it's, like, really good, but I don't think it's, like, terrible, but I also don't think it's really good. I think the story is good. It's mostly good for seeing Yuri's growth in his journey, but, like, everything Covenant exclusive, like, story-wise, like, standalone, as a standalone, it's kind of okay, I guess. I feel like the first half of the game, like, nothing really... It takes so long for stuff to happen, I guess. And Sapientis Gladio, like, I guess they're cool, but, like, even Veronica and Lenny don't feel like they get all that much. They feel like they deserved a bit more in the way of their development. So I guess Lenny got a bit because of the side quests. With Lenny, we got the side quest at least. Veronica is just kind of like, oh, she's dead. And in the second half, stuff just kind of happens. I don't know, the second half just loses me a little bit. And I think a big reason for why it loses me is the characters are not that good. They're okay. Like, I really like Joachim, I really like Blanca, and I really like Yuri. Carando's cool, but Carando doesn't really have anything to do in the game. Lucia and Geppetto, who cares about them? Anastasia's, like, okay. I didn't really, like, hate her, I didn't really love her, she was fine. And Karen. The game didn't do enough with Karen. I feel like Karen is, like, the biggest miss in this game. Because Karen's supposed to be, like, the main heroine, but I didn't really care about her by the end of it either. I didn't hate her, but I also don't really, like, love her. I'm not really, like, you know, sad for her not getting to be with Yuri, because her whole thing was, like, she had to accept the fact that Yuri loves Alice. There's gonna be one more scene at the credits, so I don't want to talk too much about that, but they could have done so much better with Karen. I don't feel like Karen is that good of a character. The thing is, like, the characters in the first Shadow Hearts were just so much better. Like, I liked Keith, Alice, and even Zhu Zhen a lot more than I like these characters. As great as Joachim and Blanca are, they don't really do much in the story. They have their side quests, which are good, but like, yeah. Covenant's story just doesn't do enough with the characters. They kind of just feel like they're along for the ride. Like, if you don't do their side quests, they're even worse. So, yeah. Anastasia got to be with Kurando. I don't know how I feel about that. Anastasia's crush on Kurando should have just been that, a crush. Why they're an item is beyond me. Anyway, Shadow Hearts Covenant, it had some ideas that it was kind of going somewhere with the characters. Like, Joachim and Anastasia had a good bond. Like, it kind of had me at certain portions. Like, oh, they're going to give me some nice character moments. It had some funny moments, but it didn't really do anything with them. 1887, the capital. We have one more scene here. Yeah, so this is Ben. Obviously, Yuri's father. I don't think the characters, like, suck or anything, but they could have done so much more with them. Like, they could have done so much more with the cast. It kind of feels like they were onto something and they just kind of missed the landing, I guess. And they have the potential. Like, the characters seem fun and wacky, and that's like the whole thing of Shadow Hearts, but they could have done more with them. Anne and 3-year-old Yuri. Yeah, this scene makes the ending kind of cute. And this is probably the best thing I can say about Karen. But it's not about her as a character. It's about this twist. This twist I really like. I like this part. Autumn 1913, South Manchuria. Hey, Yuri.
That's bad. I almost overslept. It'll be here soon.
So as you can see, Yuri's in Shadow Hearts 1 attire.
It's the world you secretly prayed for. The place your heart returns to. The time when you were the happiest. You can start your life over again.
I do really like this ending bit.
It's that train.
Dang it, subtitles!
I kind of feel like a kid again.
Oh, the Shadow Hearts 1 music plays in. Not long now until Yuri meets the woman of his destiny. So Shadow Hearts 1's good ending, I googled this, is Yuri saves Alice. And in this ending, Yuri is like, because the ending was, oh, pray for a world that you want to live in, and Yuri clearly prayed for the world that he wanted to be with Alice, a world where he and Alice can be together. So Yuri is about to save Alice, and the Shadow Hearts 1 good ending is basically like a what if, but it's also like, oh, it can also be seen as like Covenant's ending, the good ending of Covenant, because the bad ending is different, which I'll probably show off the bad ending for Covenant, but I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to have to, I would have to fight Fujin and Raijin again, and I would have to fight the final boss, and they weren't hard, but I'd rather end my stream. So, I just want to talk for a bit about Covenant before we just call it. But, so the good ending of Shadow Hearts 1 could just be the good ending of Covenant, basically. Which I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, that'd be so much cooler to talk about it then. Because good ending of Shadow Hearts 1, basically just the good ending of Covenant, because Yuri and Alice are just together and he saves Alice, basically, essentially. A world where he can save her. So, it's kind of just seen as he, like, you could just see it as he time traveled. He went to a world where he wanted to be with Alice, and now he has a chance to save her again. It's basically back to the beginning of Shadow Hearts 1. On the Karen stuff, if you remember back, there were two scenes that pointed to this. The first scene was where I think they were leaving the battleship Mikasa, and Anastasia was talking to Karen about her being, she called her Anne that one time, and then she had like the documents and everything to so like Karen like could officially be Anne, and obviously Anne is Yuri's mother. And there was also the scene where she was talking with what's her name? Saki. And she got the picture from Saki, and then Karen. The thing is, I think Karen in concept is really neat. I think in execution, Karen is kind of a meh character. Like, I don't really hate her. I don't really love her. I like the stuff done with her, but I feel like they don't really make you care about Karen. I don't know, it's weird. I feel like in theory, Karen could have been a cool character because her whole story is, you know, she obviously likes Yuri. She realizes she can't be with Yuri because Yuri and Alice are meant to be, and also Yuri only has feelings for Alice. So she realizes that. And then there's that scene with Anastasia where Anastasia brings up the name Anne, and there's also the picture scene with her and Saki in Inagami Village, where Karen's whole thing is just her accepting that she can't be with Yuri. So her world, obviously, and that was obviously Ben we saw, her world is obviously being Yuri's mother, because, you know, if she can't be with Yuri, then she'll just love Yuri as a mother, which is really cool. That's a super cool angle to go. I actually really like that twist. Like, I really like it. But I can't say Karen's, like, a good character. I like the stuff done with Karen. In theory, you'd think I should like Karen, but, like, I don't even hate her. I think she's, like, okay. She's neat, I guess. Like, if you were to divide the characters, right? I would say I really like Blanca, Joachim, and Yuri. I think they're really good. As much as Joachim and Blanca don't really get much in the story, which none of the characters besides Yuri and I guess Karen get stuff in the story. But, you know, I really like them. They're three of my favorites. Blanca, Joachim, Yuri. Probably Yuri above Joachim, I guess. I think Anastasia and Karen are good, and Kurando. I think Kurando, Karen, and Anastasia are like mid. They're good. They're okay, I guess. I really like Kurando, but Kurando doesn't really do much, and he comes so late in the game, but he's cool. And his tie with Yuri's pretty cool. And Karen and Anastasia, like, I don't love them. I don't hate them. They're okay characters. And then, like, Geppetto and Lucia, like, I think Lucia could have been fun, but she doesn't really get enough to do, and Geppetto, who cares? So, that's like my condensed version of the characters. We can watch all the cutscenes again. Chapter 2. How many chapters are in this game? What the heck? 22? What the heck? There was only one. Oh, chapter. This is crazy. Oh, chapter 22 is side quests. Yeah. I really like Covenant. I really do. Like, the story isn't bad, but if this game was a standalone, right, I'd probably be a bit harsher on the game as a whole. Like, I feel like the best thing Covenant does is it's a sequel to Shadow Hearts 1, and it does some cool stuff with Shadow Hearts 1 lore. Like, you get to see Kato again, you get to see the aftermath of some things in Shadow Hearts 1. You know, I don't know. I kind of feel like I think if they'd done better with the characters, it would have been good, but I also kind of wish that we got more of the original cast. Like, I mean, I guess they had their happy endings. Like, Hallie had his happy ending in the original Shadow Hearts, and Zhuzhen, like, you know, Zhuzhen's not even in this game. You don't even see him or Hallie. But part of me wishes that we got a little bit more of them. Maybe they were sprinkled in the story more, like Keith and Margaret, because apparently Keith's in the game, by the way, but you have to find every single lottery ticket person. Apparently Keith makes a cameo if you find every single lottery person, and I was not about to hunt down every single lottery person, even if it was for Keith. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him, but he's in the game. We saw Margaret, and then that's kind of it. And obviously Alice is dead. The whole game is about trying to, like, save her. So yeah, I don't know. I think the characters have potential, but at times there's, like, potential there. Like, they try to do stuff with them, like, even in side quests or even their banter and stuff, but they kind of, like, shoot for the stars and fall, I guess. And the characters seem really wacky, so in theory I'm like, oh, they seem interesting, but, like, they don't really do much with a lot of them, unfortunately. And again, I wish Karen was a better character, because the stuff done with Karen is cool, but I think the part they fail with Karen is her as a character. They don't really do much to make her, like, a really endearing character, or, like, you know, I don't hate her, she's not insufferable, but I don't think she's, like, really amazing or anything. Like, wouldn't it just be better if the twist with Karen was cool and I cared about Karen a lot more? I really don't care about Karen that much. Like, I should, but I don't. What else? But yeah, the gameplay's fun. I think the dungeons in the game, I think the game kind of drags, and I think a big portion of that is some of the dungeons just go on and on and on. I think especially in the second half, the game just kind of drags a bit. And the game is only like, it took me like 40 hours long to do side quests too. So the game would have taken like 30 to 35 hours without the side quests, probably, give or take. And I don't know, I don't mind the game being long, but there were some dungeons where I didn't really like them all that much, and as a result, it felt like the game dragged. But like, I mean, the game isn't like, it doesn't drag that much. It's not super long. Yeah, standalone story for Covenant. Don't really care about it all that much. I think it's cool, has some cool ideas. I think Kato and Nikolai are cool villains. They're probably some of the best villains that Shadow Hearts has ever put out. Like, they're definitely a lot better than like, oh, Albert Simon. We got more Albert Simon in this game. We got more of what he was doing. That was incredible. I really like the stuff with Albert Simon and Sapientis Gladio and that history and lore. And also just getting more Albert Simon fleshing out was great, because Shadow Hearts 1, Albert Simon served his purpose, but like, he, at the end of the day, wasn't a compelling villain. But this game gives us some more light on that, so that was good. I think Covenant has the best villains in the Shadow Hearts franchise. I will give it that. Like, that's a good game. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Because let's see, I probably give Shadow Hearts 1 like an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think I gave Shadow Hearts 1 an 8 out of 10 when I reviewed it in my playthrough. I'd probably give this one like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe a 7. It gets at least a 7. It's a good game. I'd recommend it. Like, play Shadow Hearts 1 first, because the thing is, this game is a sequel. Like, it might seem like a standalone, but it's a sequel. There are so many scenes where they show you Shadow Hearts 1 stuff, and they assume you know Shadow Hearts 1. It seems like a standalone, but it's not. It's a sequel. And it's best enjoyed as a sequel, and also, like, it's better for that. So, like, if you like Shadow Hearts 1, you'll like Shadow Hearts Covenant. I have no doubt you will like Shadow Hearts Covenant if you like the first Shadow Hearts. It's not as good as the original, but I still really, really enjoy it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. But yeah, the ending's really compelling. As an ending, I really like it. Side quests were pretty good. I didn't like the Fort of Regrets and the Man Festival 1v1s, but most of the side quests were fun to do. I enjoyed doing most of the side content. And again, they tried to do more with the characters in the side quests. So, do the side quests, because that's where they give the characters a bit more to do. Even then, they're not amazing, but they do a little better in those with the characters. What else? Do I have anything else to say? I'm at 5 hours. This is perfect timing. This worked out well in terms of finishing the game, though. Good timing on finishing. Yeah. Final boss was a little easy, as I was saying, but like, again, that's because I did basically all this. I didn't do the final Man Festival part, but I did basically all the side quests and got the best equipment, basically. So, like, you know, but even in Shadow Hearts 1, the final boss wasn't like a pushover. I think the final boss was still moderately challenging, even though I did everything in that game too. But in this one, like, it definitely was a bit easy, but that's fine. It's whatever. I did all the side content. What are you gonna do? Or basically all the side content. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say. Now, I don't know if I want to start. I really want to play From the New World. I do, but I'm not sure if I want to start it, like, on Friday or not. We'll get to From the New World soon enough. I might do it on Friday, or I might wait a little bit. I'm not really sure. I think it just depends on my mood. Like, the thing is, there weren't a crazy amount of people interested in Covenant, so based on the traction Covenant got, I don't see a lot of people being like, oh, I want to see you play From the New World, like, right now. But if I want to do it, I will. Like, we'll just see what happens on Friday. We'll see if I really, really want to play From the New World or not, or if I have a better playthrough in mind. We'll see what I want to do, because, like, you know, I don't think people are, like, in a rush for me to play Covenant, because, like, or not Covenant. I don't think people are in a rush for me to play From the New World, because Covenant's, like, one of the most popular ones. So, like, I don't think From the New World would do much better. So, it's going to come down to if I want to do it on Friday, or if I want to wait a little bit. But we'll be doing it soon enough. I definitely want to do it and get all the Shadow Hearts games. And we'll do Kudelka as well, because I want to do Kudelka. I have to, like, I feel like if I do all the Shadow Hearts games, I have to do Kudelka. It's basically a Shadow Hearts game, but I'll probably, maybe I'll do it first. I don't know. Something will happen, but either way, that's the end of the Shadow Hearts Covenant playthrough. Maybe I'll come back to do the bad ending. I have a save state, so if I remember for YouTube, maybe I'll do the bad ending. If not, just Google it. You could just Google the bad ending. I don't know. It depends if I feel like recording it, but either way, this is the end of Shadow Hearts Covenant. I still really enjoyed it. The game is good. I give it like a 7 out of 10. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. It's still a really good game. One of the best PS2 games, and a good sequel to Shadow Hearts 1. Still really fun. Like, it was still a really, really good game, and I'm glad I played it. And I enjoyed my time with it, and I enjoyed doing all the content that I did. We did basically everything. Almost everything. But, everything that matters. But yeah, good time, good playthrough, really enjoyed it. Tomorrow we're doing Metaphor ReFantazio. I cannot wait to play more of that game. And then we're starting something new on Friday, whether it's Shadow Hearts 3 or something else. Stay tuned for that. I'll decide by the time we get to Friday. I want to do something because we have a week before the other games come out, so I need something. As great as Metaphor is, don't play that. As great as Metaphor is, I don't want to just play Metaphor. That's too much Metaphor. But regardless, we're doing Metaphor ReFantazio tomorrow. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you all next time.